Hello friends, welcome to part 3 of the Elden Ring walkthrough. Without any delay, let's get straight to it.
Final setting.
This merchant sells kukri infinitely. The kukri is a large knife that you can throw at enemies. It's an excellent throwing tool for those playing dexterity or strength builds. The kukri also has the bleed effect. From here, our main goal is to collect some sacred tier. Along the way, we'll also reach important sites of grace. This will help us access different parts of this area more easily in the future.
unspoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden Ring, grow strong in the face of death. Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey.
It's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help here at the end of the earth?
Make sure to buy the lantern from this merchant. It will help you navigate dark areas without needing a torch. With the help of Smithing Master Hugh, you can duplicate your Ashes of War using the Lost Ashes of War item. This item is not very common in the game, but we'll collect all of them.
Have a safe journey.
The Great Turtle Shell is a shield with a passive effect that boosts stamina recovery, similar to the Green Turtle Talisman, but at a slower rate. You can stack its effect with the Talisman and other stamina-boosting items for even faster recovery. You don't need to meet its stat requirements, just equipping it grants the effect. So far, we've achieved 2 important goals. We've leveled up our character early in the game and upgraded our flask by 4 levels. Our third goal is to find a good weapon for combat. In Elden Ring, upgrade stones are rare, so you can't keep switching weapons throughout the game. That's why you need to find 1 or 2 good weapons early on and complete most of the game with them. The upgrade stones you find should be invested in those weapons. I recommend choosing a Greatsword. In all the areas we've explored so far, except for Stormveil Castle, there are only 3 Greatswords available. You can pick up 2 of them, but you have to farm the 3rd one. Now, I'm going for the first Greatsword, the legendary Claymore, which has appeared in most From Software games. Dogs in Elden Ring are some of the most annoying enemies in the game. The Claymore is one of the best greatswords in the game for two reasons. First, its R2 attack is a thrust, which deals pierce damage. Pierce damage is the best damage type in Elden Ring, and most enemies and even bosses are weak to it. Second, the Claymore's default Ash of War is Lion's Claw, one of the best Ashes of War in the game. We'll find it later and can use it on many weapons, but at the start of the game, only the Claymore has it by default. The second greatsword you can pick up early in the game, right after talking to Melina, is the Lordsworn's Greatsword. Feel free to use it if you like.
I took you for dead. No matter, it's lay out your arms.
The third greatsword is the Knight's Greatsword, and the only way to get it is by farming. If you fast travel to the Saints Bridge site of Grace, which we accessed earlier, there's a military camp nearby with a knight. This is the only knight in Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula that carries this greatsword. Every time you kill him, there's a chance he will drop the Knight's Greatsword. He can also drop his shield and full armor set, which is a very good armor set for early game. I'm going to keep farming this knight until I get the Knight's Greatsword. After several attempts, I finally got the Knight's Greatsword from him. I also managed to get his shield. This Greatsword will be my main weapon throughout the game, and I'll use the Claymore when needed. The most important feature of the Knight's Greatsword is its R1 attacks. When wielded two-handed, its R1 moveset changes and becomes faster compared to other greatswords. Very few greatswords in the game have this unique moveset. This weapon scales better with dexterity, so it suits dexterity-focused builds. I don't need its default Ash of War. Instead, I plan to get one of the best early-game Ashes of War and apply it to this greatsword.
Good. Didn't we?
Yes, right this way. Right this way. Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long. Please?
Trade again.
There are 4 crystal tiers in the game for strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith. Each one boosts its respective stat by 10 levels for 3 minutes. There are several statues like this in the game that contain weapon upgrade stones. However, you can't access these stones without breaking the statues. There's always a strong enemy nearby that can break them. You need to lure that enemy toward the statues so they get destroyed. We just picked up our first cookbook in the game. With the help of cookbooks, the crafting kit we bought early in the game, crafting materials scattered throughout the lands between, and a few special items we haven't collected yet, we can craft various consumable items from the crafting section in the main menu. There are a lot of cookbooks in the game, and we'll collect all of them, but the items we can craft are even more numerous. Some of them are useful for all classes and builds, while others are suitable for just one or two. Every time we find a new cookbook, we can check its description to see what new items are added to the crafting menu. In the crafting menu, you can also see what materials are needed to make each item. Some materials are common and easy to find, while others are very rare.
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort? Oh, excellent news. Just wonderful. And the knight's dead to boot. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. I knew I was right to trust you. Now, here's your reward, as promised. Go ahead. It's all yours. Right then. Time for me to head to the fort. I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. What's that look? You don't believe me? Well, under the Erd Tree, commingling with the demi-humans is made possible. Even the vulgar shall not be left behind, under the rule of true order. Which is why I, Kenneth Haight, next in line as the rightful ruler of Limgrave, have sworn to uphold it. Just you watch, my friend. Just you watch. Ah, yes. I've been meaning to ask. Would you like to enter my service? I see bright things in your future, stout warrior. Enter into my service and learn the workings of the Erdtree's true order. And who knows? Perhaps sometime down the line, the grace of gold will return to those tarnished eyes of yours. What say you? A fine accord, is it not? Very well indeed. I knew I saw something in you. I shall await you at my fort. We shall hold the ceremony for your knighting there, I think. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Erdtree blessed. Right then, time for me to head to the fort. I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. Ah, you, is it? I suppose you must have seen it by now, yes. The sorry state of my fort? Oh, indeed, it is a foul fate for a land to be without a ruler. One must be found, with haste, and not that awful Godric, but a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave. I'm sorry to have lifted your hopes, but I haven't the authority to raise you to knighthood as things stand. The great Kenneth Haight issues his sincerest apology. But now, I must begin my search post-haste for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
After the latest updates, the brass shield has become one of the best shields in the game. The guard boost for medium shields, including this one, has been increased. With the help of a certain talisman we'll get later in the game, this shield can reach the highest possible guard boost, making it an excellent choice for players who use shields. Remember, a shield's guard boost increases as you upgrade it. To reach its maximum potential, the brass shield needs to be upgraded to the highest level. This fighting method used by the knight who killed me is something you can do too. For this technique, you need a shield in your left hand and a weapon with an R1 thrust attack in your right hand. The best weapons for this style are spears. With this method, you can block all enemy damage with your shield while also dealing damage to them at the same time. Just hold L1 to block and spam R1 to attack. The only problem with this method is stamina management. Every hit your shield takes and every attack you make consumes stamina. If your stamina runs out during combat, you'll get guard broken. So, shields with high guard boost are best for this style. A higher guard boost means less stamina consumption when blocking attacks. The Whetstone knife we just picked up is one of the most important items in the game. It allows you to change your weapon's Ash of War by resting at sites of grace. Without this item, only Smithing Master Hugh at the Round Table hold can do it for you. By defeating this knight, we've reached the end of part 3 of our walkthrough. Join me in the next episode. See you later.